Hello everyone, in today's episode of Waifu Analisys we will discuss the character Rei Ayanami. As in the previous episode there was a request for this character. I would still like to thank you for your warm welcome to this series. At the end of the episode I will give you a surprise. Rei Ayanami is from Rebuild of Evangelion movie series. She is the first child, referred as the first children in the Japanese version, the pilot of Evangelion Unit 00. In Neon Genesis Evangelion we know little about Rei at the start of the series, and her austere demeanor baffles her contemporaries. Her demeanor changes as the series goes on, and she starts to interact more with others around her, especially Shinji Ikari, a fellow EVA pilot and her classmate. The spectator finds out how Rei's enigmatic past relates to the plot's resolve in the story's climactic moments. Although one of the main story aspects of the end of Evangelion, her participation in this resolution is not made explicit in the TV series. Appearance: Rei has short 4'8", 143 centimeters, and weighs 94 pounds, 43 kilograms, with pale blue hair with bangs centered to the middle and has red eyes. At the beginning of the series, she would wear bandages such as her arm and her one eye. She wears the same school uniform but wears white loafers instead, and black ankle socks. In Evangelion 2.0 you can not advance when visiting the ocean research facility. Unlike other characters who uses casual clothes, she still uses her school uniform. Her plug suit is mostly white, with black, red, and dark green accents stylized in most places of her plug suit. In Evangelion 3.0 you can not redo. Rei Ayanami is given a new gray plug suit. Personality: at the start of the series, Rei is socially withdrawn, seemingly emotionless, and rarely interacts with anyone, except for Gendo, to whom she initially displays loyalty but with whom she has a generally distant relationship. She lives by herself in a dull, sparsely furnished apartment in Tokyo 3. Toward the end of the series, Shinji comments that her apartment is very similar to the place where Ritsuko says Rei was born. Rei is also shown to have an interest in psychology and genetics, including reading a book in German on the latter subject in episode 9. As the series progresses, she begins to develop relationships with others and to show moments of genuine emotion, to even become sad and cry. Info from team creators. Whatever else, she needs to be painted in as a bitterly unhappy young girl with little sense of presence. Hideaki Eno, to Yasuki Sadamoto on Rei's character design. An emotional change causes certain muscles in the face to tense, producing an expression. Rei is expressionless, but is it that she doesn't feel emotion, or that she is merely unable to express it? Yasuki Sadamoto on Rei. Her English voice actor, Amanda Winley, describes her saying, "Rei is not totally devoid of personality, otherwise she would not be interesting. There is a small spark of humanity, but it is clouded by this huge sense of negative self-worth and the realization that she is expendable. The joy of playing Rei is exploring that small spark." And also said, "I got into a weird mode, I can't describe it. It's a good thing I'm in a little padded room when I'm doing it because that's where she belongs. She knows she's expendable, but the thing is, she's still human, so you can't do her totally catatonic." History. In Evangelion 1.0 you are not alone. Her character remains largely the same as in the original series. However, her relationship with Gendo, her surrogate father figure, is portrayed as being closer than before. In Evangelion 2.0 you can not advance. Rei's character begins to develop further, and her relationship with Shinji, the main character, is shown much more openly. She also makes sacrifices to save others, including being devoured by an angel. In Evangelion 3.0, you can not redo. Rei Ayanami is replaced by a clone from the Ayanami series. This version of Rei is different from her predecessors and has an emotionless personality, which causes distress to the other characters. In the final film of the series, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, Rei Ayanami, tentative name, arrives with Shinji and Asuka at a survivor's village. She struggles to find her own individuality and purpose in life, but eventually settles as a farmer and goes to school. She finds her own identity and accepts living in a world without Ivis, as a new place for her to belong. The films conclude with Shinji finding the original Rei clone inside Unit 01, with whom he shares a poignant moment. During instrumentality, there is a flashback to Gendo and Uikari talking to each other, revealing that they had planned to name their daughter Rei if they had one. Rei talks with Shinji and accepts living in a world without Ivis, as a new place for her to belong. In the ending, Rei and Kaworu are seen as adults, gazing at each other. Interesting facts: Ayanami was named after a Japanese World War II naval vessel. Her first name is a pun on her Evangelion OO, and it also comes from the anime and manga series Sailor Moon. A band called Kinniku Sha Ringjo Tai's theme song and a novella named The Snow Goose were also inspirations for the character's design. Initially, Ayanami was meant to have dark hair and eyes, but the director requested a cool character with short hair, and her design changed to include blue hair and red eyes. Ayanami was meant to be a motherly figure, in contrast to the sexually alluring Asuka Langley Soru. During the show's production, the creator struggled to develop Ayanami's character, but eventually decided to explore her emotions and give her a stream of consciousness-like monologue in episode 14. Her waifu type is
I am currently testing a new speech synthesizer. What do you think?
ご清聴ありがとうございました。